Welcome to Inside Asia. This week we have special guest, the winner of Magsaysay Award, Mr. Koul Panha. He is a hard campaigner to promote free and fair elections. He has been building up vigilant citizenry to monitor elections in Cambodia for the past decade. That is one of the major reasons he was given this award. We are very fortunate to have Mr. Panha with us to discuss the electoral system, his hope for democracy in Cambodia.
Political turmoil has been a constant in Cambodia's recent history. Traumatized by decades of war and the Khmer Rouge regime of genocide, the country's first steps towards democracy have been marked by 5 chaotic elections since 1993. Democracy's progress has been slow and turbulent, constantly threatened by a possible return to the authoritarian rule. The challenge is for freedom-loving Cambodians to claim the electoral process as their own and to protect it as an instrument to build a true working democracy. One person who has bravely stepped up to this challenge is Cambodian engineer Koul Panha. Koul has seen brutality up close. He was only 8 years old when his father and relatives were killed by the Khmer Rouge. This trauma impelled him to dedicate himself to changing his society, embracing the human rights movement during the dictatorship. In the country's first free elections, he joined the non-partisan task force on Cambodian elections, which evolved into the Committee for Free and Fair Elections, or COMFREL. After earning a master's degree in the politics of alternative development, Koul became COMFREL's executive director, focusing on its mission of assuring that Cambodian elections are free and fair. Recalling the tragic experience of millions of Cambodians, Koul says, "I think Cambodia has suffered enough. This pushes me to do something to make sure the suffering does not happen again." In electing Koul Panha to receive the 2011 Ramon Magsaysay Award, the Board of Trustees recognizes his determined and courageous leadership of the sustained campaign to build an enlightened, organized, and vigilant citizenry who will ensure fair and free elections, as well as demand accountable governance by their elected officials in Cambodia's nascent democracy.
Hello.
Thank you very much for joining our program.
Thank you.
Koul Panha.
Thank you, Kavi.
And I would like to congratulate you for the Magsaysay Award for what you have done.
Thank you.
In the citations, the award was very specific in saying that you have done a remarkable campaign to build up, organize a vigilant citizenry. Now, since you are here, can you explain what have you done?
Thank you, P. Kavi. COMFREL have engaged in our work. Our work engaged not just about election, but also after the election. We strengthening the meaningfulness of the post-election. During election time, we also conduct many activities. The main focus is on the election monitoring.
Yes.
Since the beginning, we organize, we mobilize a volunteer observer, engage in monitor, audit voter registration.
But it must be very difficult in the beginning.
Yes.
You start in 1993.
We start at 1993, but at the time it's a small team.
How many at the time?
The time was around 200 volunteer only.
That's the first election,
time, yeah.
yes.
But it's not the COMFREL, it's not Committee for Free and Fair Election, but they are the task force on Cambodian election. This just temporary group organized by the human rights NGO together. We try to do something to parallel with the UNTAC, because the UNTAC, they are the key role conduct the election. So UN
also helped.
At the time, I'm an assistant to that task force on Cambodian election.
I see.
And I also experienced with the UN. And after the finished the mission of the UNTAC, we established the COMFREL, the Committee for Free and Fair Election, in 1995.
Yes.
And then we start to engage with the first election in 1998, COMFREL itself. So we mobilize more than 10,000 observers engaged in monitor the election and also provide voter information to the people. And we found out that engage in election is not just during election time
Yes.
or counting, but we start since the beginning when they conduct the voter registration.
What is the time frame normally before the election? How many weeks?
Around 9 months. This
Oh, I
we
see.
start in
Oh,
preparation
that's a long
like the
time,
9
yeah.
Yes, a long time because need to look at the draft regulation, election regulation procedure that prepared by the NEC, National Electoral Commission. Here in Thailand, you call Kokoto.
Yes, yes.
And they prepare this kind of draft regulation and the procedure. So we look at the draft, any room that can improve the regulation and the procedure. So we work on that also. We monitor the violence and any political related violation or violence, because Cambodia is still violent. So that's why we have our observer look at that.
I see. What were the numbers of violent incident during the 2008 election?
There decrease now violence if compared with the 1993, 1998 until 2008, decreased a lot. At the time, around 300 cases of the political related killing. But
see.
in 2008, around 12 or 13.
That was a big
political-
improvement.
Yeah, it's decreased, and people decrease fear also. Before they are fear a lot during election time. They're afraid what happened to Cambodian
Yes.
election, and when a political party win or lost election, they always have the disagreement. And
So you have to educate your voters. I remember when I was in Cambodia, Cambodians fear that their vote was not secret. So you must have advertising, keep telling them that your vote is secret, nobody will know.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
so-
work that a lot because when the 1998 their campaign, some political parties say that they can watch the voter cast the ballot
Oh,
in
really?
the booth.
Oh.
But we try to campaign again this information that no, the booth is very secret, guaranteed the secret. So now almost 80% of the voter believe in the secret ballot.
So you were very successful then.
We see that this is something that impact the achievement that we contribute to inform the voter to against this the campaign on they say that they can use computer or they can watch the voter
I see.
cast the ballot paper.
So before the election, you mentioned that you study the legislation,
Yeah.
electoral law.
Yep.
What were some of the amendments that you have suggested to the government, and the government took it up? Were there any suggestions that received favorable response from the government?
For example, we worked on 1998 on the establishment of the Kokoto National Electoral Commission, because at the time we concerned so much that the political party not confident on the establishment of the National Electoral Authority Commission. So we try to identify some formula how can the political party accept the establishment of this NEC. So at the time there are formula that they should invite representative from the political party,
Yes.
from the civil society,
Yes.
to be member of this NEC. So in 1998 there was compromise on that, and then we found out that the standard for the free and fair election, standard for the effective function of the election authority, or you can say election management body, they need independent, they need neutral organization.
Yes.
And then we advocate for that. They also change. So we change from the representative from different political party in the commission, and toward they try to to exclude the representative from the political party in the commission in the NEC. But however, we still face problem now again.
Yes.
Because when we talk about independent neutrality of commission,
yes.
maybe only the good word in the law, but when they implement how to select the composition of the member of NEC, there's still a problem because there are no transparency procedure how to select the member of the commission. So currently we concerned about that, and the political party not confident on the composition of the NEC.
So you must also educate the politician instead of voters, because your voters have learned over the years how to be responsible voters and how to vote in transparent ways.
Yes, we also engage a lot with the political party to discuss any possible of the election reform, because we need them to confident in the process.
So did you engage the ruling parties?
Yes, we always invite all the major parties, especially the political party, have seat in the National Assembly, include the ruling and the opposition.
So they did take part in your discussions?
Some activity they took part, but some activity they not really took part because maybe they not really commitment to that reform, because now the system itself, maybe they feel that they are comfortable with. So yeah, the ruling party may be a little bit resistant to the reform now, especially the election reform in Cambodia.
I see. So can you explain why there was such a high vote turnout in Cambodia?
I think we try to motivate voters that the election democracy will benefit to them. They must confident and believe if they can exercise their power and to hold the government, elect officials to accountable to them, and they can use that power not just during election time, but after election, post-election period, they should exercise that power as a voter. In Cambodia, we use the name Magsaysay, owner of the vote, owner of the power. So they should use this role and power after election, and to hold elect officials accountable, and then they see the benefit. If they see the benefit from election, they continue to participate in the election. That's the way we try to educate and advocate with the voter to be more responsible citizen, responsible voter, not just during election time period, but also after election, post-election period.
Actually, the high vote turnout surprised me very much, because young democracy in Cambodia, has proved that it can work. Now, let me ask you, the young democratic tradition in Cambodia, and the overall enthusiasm that had been displayed, was it partly due to the horrible experience that the Cambodian people went through during the reign of the Khmer Rouge? So everybody feels that they have to empower, they have to own the nation, they have to partake in the election.
1993, they are very enthusiastic. The turnout very high.
Yes.
Because they see that election may contribute to the peace. They believe that election they can make political stability, because all political parties, especially political rival faction, they agree, participate, engage in election. They contest to get government power through election. So people in 1993 very enthusiastic. They went to the polling station and they cast a ballot. So that's why the idea at the time is about the peace and stability. But right now we try to keep motivate people, because some people now they a little
fed
bit,
up.
Yeah, they feel that maybe peace, stability need also, but they need something. that
Something
they
else.
can something else that can benefit to them because they face a lot of challenge, some governance service or the infrastructure service that they need. So they need the elect official, elect government to be more accountable to them to bring benefit to them because now happen some social problem, land conflict, and some governance problem like corruption or
transparency,
bad service to the people, not real function very well of the administration, local administration. So they try to think that they must change or improve that administration and also to increase more the government support, the infrastructure and the reform.
But are these issues about infrastructure, about good governance, key factors in the 2008 elections? Were these key issues?
It was 2008. Some survey they found out that people very see the infrastructure is the main issue that they want the government to implement, to fulfill, to develop infrastructure more. And the good governance, they are still priority issue, but not the number one.
So they still pick the ruling party which have long record of staying and do the infrastructural works.
Yeah, that's the Cambodian people. They are more realism. They want to see something infrastructure development for the community, and they are very target to the basic need because Cambodian people are still very poor, and more than 20% of the Cambodian people still live under poverty line. So they really need a basic need for themselves.
Yeah.
So that's why the main priority is infrastructure and the basic need.
The current government has brought stability and economic prosperity to the life of 13-14 million. So I think they still command some popularity votes, right?
Yes, it's according to the survey, but now this increased the social problem, not like before.
Why? Because of the economic progress, the have and the have not, the widening gap between the urban and the rural areas?
Yes, this economic development impacts on the poor people and on the villager because a lot of land concession now given to the investor, and some people try just grab the land of the villager, and there increase the conflict in tension between the company and government.
I mean, mainly foreign investors or local investors?
There are local investors also and foreign investors also from China, from Vietnam, and other South Korea and other also, and local tycoon also involved in this land concession a lot, to get land concession a lot, and impact on the villager. They have been evicted to a place where not really appropriate for the living, not well compensation to the villager, and there's conflict in the Phnom Penh, in the capital, in the province, in the remote. They happen.
I have read a lot about these conflicts in the newspaper, but what do you think would be appropriate solution to all these conflicts?
For example, the land concession should stop that concession.
For the time being?
Yes, because they given concession a lot already, more than 1 million hectare.
That's a lot.
Given to
in the capital city? Or
in Cambodia.
Throughout the country?
Yeah, throughout the country. And I think that should stop that concession because should review the land reform, how can make sure that local people can benefit from that land reform. It's not just give a lot of concession, because if like that, there's affect a lot of people. They lost their land, and some conflict have very difficult to be solved.
I see. Has the government present any land reforms plan?
They make some commitment to that, but just in the policy and platform. But when the implementation is so slow, for example, when they talk about social land concession, supposed to give some land to the poor people, to the villager with a title. But this process, social land concession, so slow implement if compared with the economic land concession. They are very, very fast and a lot big size. But for the social land concessions, very small, around 1,000 hectares only have been implemented. But if compared with more than 1 million hectares given to the company, it's so big gap. That's a problem.
I heard that there were some cases that the government compensate with finance, with cash. Is that correct?
Yes, some compensate and some have been, especially in the capital, they have been evict them to go to live outskirts. But the problem have no appropriate infrastructure and support, for them to continue their work, to get some income, because in outskirts sometimes have not real market for them to live, to get a job, and to have a school for their children. So
they have to come to the city, to Phnom Penh.
That's not yet ready for a place that the government that evict them to some place. They need something ready for the people, for the local residents. But the problem is not well.
So do you have any civil society organizations that help these poor people to fight for their rights?
There are many civil society organizations now try to
help
people, try to educate people about their rights, to demand the compensation, to advocate with the government to implement the reform, especially regarding the social land concession implementation. They work a lot on that and also have to monitor what happened to the resettlement plan of the government, how the effect on the people. So they provide evidence-based report to the donor, to the government, to understand, to aware the situation of the evictee, of the local resident, where have been settled in a new place. So we work on, and some civil society organizations, they provide legal advice to the local people that they are able to, in the court process, that they will have some human rights defender, lawyer, to help people to file the complaint. Because some company also file complaint to the villager, some case villager also file complaint to the company.
They have to sort things out.
Yeah, in the court system. But sometimes it's not easy for the poor people because they don't have official document and lawyer to support. So some civil society try to help them. They not have money and resource effort to hire the lawyer and to pursue
the matters in court.
Sometimes so expensive for them to pay the fee for the court also.
In Cambodia, how many NGO altogether? And just give me some idea which group are handling issue related to social or political areas.
We have around 2,000 NGO, non-governmental organization and association established at the national, at the provincial level.
I see.
And however, the effective performance is around 20%, less than 20% of.
So about 200 organizations that really work.
They really try to 200 to 400 around like that. They
very active.
They keep.
On which issues can you?
Mostly they deal with human rights. Land eviction. Deal with the governance issue also. There are some NGO try to do with that, with the women rights, with the children rights, and with
migration.
Migration maybe a few, but also microcredit. They also try to do something with that. So from the human rights sector to the development sector and social sector, especially some organization they provide service. Some organization they involve with the capacity building for the local people, and some organization they involve with the microcredit to the poor, and some organization engage with the human rights and democracy. So yes, but mostly they are engaged with the development work.
I see. Well, that's all the time we have. I hope you followed the second part of our conversation with Koul Panha, the hard campaigner to promote free and fair elections in Cambodia, and the latest Magsaysay Award winner. I hope you enjoyed the program. Good night. สวัสดีครับ